Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It's Sat Chat time. I hope you're having a good week, a good weekend, whatever you're up to. It's a endless yard sale weekend in my town, which means that there's about 100 people that have yard sales set up, so driving through town is a treacherous obstacle course. And my across the street neighbors are having a yard sale right now. This is Friday afternoon when I'm filming this. Some people started, there are only 6 people officially on the yard sale docket for today because they have like maps you can pick up at local businesses and whatnot. There were only 6 people, like yard sales set up for today. However, there's way more. I drove by more than 6 to go into town for my yearly eye exam. And it was, well, because it's hard because you're driving, right? And you're curious, so you want to see what people have out there for sale, but you also want to keep your eyes on the road and, you know, because there's so much craziness. We don't have sidewalks in our town because it's just a small town. So people are like just kind of parked on the side of the road and there are people walking back and forth on the street, and yeah, it's like, whoa, this is just treacherous. So, so I drove by a few, and when I got up early, oh my gosh, I woke up so early this morning. Oh, by the way, before we get all started into that, I do want to remind you, this is the last, I'm having my week-long birthday sale. It started last Saturday. It's going through tomorrow, and it's 49% off any class in my online school. There's a link and a coupon code in the video description. The coupon code is HB49, HB49, like happy birthday 49, because I'm 49 this year. And just use that when you check out to save 49%, and you can use it as many times as you want. So, you know, if there's more than one class you want, you can use it as many times as you like. So that information is in the video description, and it goes through tomorrow. So don't delay. If you want to grab a class on sale, you can always buy the class now and do it later. You don't have to, you know, do it right now. You have lifetime access. So except for the monthly Critique Club membership, that's a month-to-month thing like Netflix or Hulu, but all the other classes are lifetime access. So just to give you the heads up there. So yeah, oh, did I have any other housekeeping I had to get into? No, that's it. So yeah, driving into town was a little treacherous, and I was already tired because I woke up at 4:30 this morning. And whenever I have an appointment, and I always schedule my appointments first thing in the morning because otherwise I don't get anything done all day just waiting for my appointment because I'm afraid I'll get wrapped up in something and like lose track of time and forget it. So I always schedule everything early, but then because I know I have something scheduled early, I don't sleep very well. And even though I had my alarm set for 6:30, I woke up at 4:30, couldn't fall back asleep. So I got out of bed at 5, had my coffee, and worked out and took the dog for a nice long walk. And then I saw my next door neighbors were setting up a yard sale as I was walking the dog. I'm like, oh, that's a drill. First, I didn't really think much of it other than, oh, the dog's going to be probably on edge just with people coming and going all the time, like parking on the side of the road. Dog could care less. She hasn't noticed really anybody coming and going to the neighbor's house. But just kind of puttering around the house, you hear a door slam, then you're kind of like, it puts you on edge, you know, because it's a very quiet street normally. So whenever I hear a car door slam, I think somebody's here. And so I've been just kind of like out of sorts all day, feeling on edge, and just driving through town was treacherous and yet still a little intriguing. I'm good for about 5 yard sales. The kids want to go yard sailing tomorrow because this is like an annual tradition. They love to do that. I'm good for about 5, and after that I'm like, I'm done. I can't look at any more things. I don't need anything. I have too much stuff as it is. I know it's fun to look. It's still fun to look, but and speaking of speaking of the hypocrite that I am, yes, I don't need any more things. However, after my eye appointment, I decided I would treat myself, a very little treat. I decided I wanted to go into the Dollar Tree and see if they had the fountain pens that I've seen people talking about. And they did, but it took me a while to find it. Actually, I didn't think they had them because I went all through the stationery area, the office supply, the kids area. They've expanded the office supply area and the craft section in my Dollar Tree. And it seems like they're, maybe they're trying to like capitalize on the fact that Joann's no longer open and trying to bring in some more craft stuff, because they had, well, first of all, oh, I took some photos when I was in there because it was stuff I didn't need but I thought that you guys might want to know about. If you do like the Cricut crafting, the crafting where you use like the peel and stick vinyl, they had all of that 4 rolls for $1. Like the big 12-inch by 3 or 4 feet, I think it is, 25 cents a roll. And I want to get my my photos open so I can see it, because I took pictures of stuff as I was seeing them. They were starting to bring the prices up on certain things, and they were putting red dots on over certain stickers, so I could tell they were going to be raising the price. So it seemed to be like the large plastic storage things, those are going up to $1.50, or they were already up to $1.50. When I was going in the cleaning department, that stuff, all that was up to $1.50, or had stickers on it. And like also in that aisle would be where they had the fabric bins, which I don't think are the best quality, honestly, but those are going up to $1.50, I think. But they had the cutest in the party section. I don't know if you will see that. They had the cutest disco balls. They were so sparkly. I think they were probably real glass mirror tiles on there. I didn't buy any because I didn't need any, but I thought, oh, that's really cute. Actually, those would probably be pretty cute Christmas decorations, ornaments, because they would catch all the lights. But those looked great. They looked really nice. They had, this is what the vinyl looks like. Let me just zoom in there. And I'd heard that was on sale, but I almost didn't believe it. I thought maybe it was just one store getting rid of it. It doesn't say that it's clearance, but I imagine they're clearancing it if they're selling it for $1. And they had a ton. They were very well stocked. So either people don't know about it or it's just gone on sale. I'm not sure. So if you want that, I did say they had some glitter and foil papers and just the regular colors. And different patterns. So, I mean, I haven't used it, so I can't vouch for the quality of it. I don't typically do Cricut crafts too much. I have a die cutting machine, but I used to do the vinyl stuff when my kids were in school, when they were younger, and I would make like the, I'd like, what do you call it, personalized water bottles for their teammates, or do coach gifts and things like that. But I just did it as a personal, project favor to the team and whatnot. I never did it like commercially or anything, but I do know a lot of people like to do that and sell that stuff at craft fairs and whatnot. So if you use it, that's a great price. What else do they have? They had, I did buy some things. I'll show you what I bought, but I just want to make sure I don't forget any of the, oh, they had some really cute, like, embroidery kits. Those were, I think, $5. They had paint by number kits, they had embroidery kits. Those would be great little summertime projects for your kids, I think, or just something like that. You want to maybe you're going to a camp for a week, or you're just having a staycation or something like that. You could pick up a few of these kits, and that's really expensive. Everything you need right there in the kit. I thought that was it was $5. I can see the price on the bottom of that right now, even though I don't have my glasses in, but my eyesight hadn't really changed. My up close, when they add on the reading section onto your progressives, that had, on my right eye, had gone up a little bit, but other than that, it was pretty much the same. Oh, and they had laundry detergent sheets. So I took a quick picture of it. I bought those, not that brand before, but when the girls started college, I bought a box of laundry detergent sheets for them, because I'm like, well, they don't have to lug big things of laundry detergent to the laundry room. That's easy to tear off what you need. If you just have a couple things to wash, you can just use a little portion of the sheet. So they have that at Dollar Tree now. I don't know if it's the best bang for your buck. I don't think it is quite as effective as, say, commercially made detergent. Like, I like the powdered detergent in the cardboard box, either Tide or Gain. I feel like that is like the most potent detergents for the least amount of money. I feel like you get your most bang for your buck that way. But if you're going on vacation, you're going on a cruise, and you want to, I say that because I just went on a cruise. I also watch Vivian Tries, that YouTube channel. She's a riot, but she's always talking about going on a cruise and bringing this or that from the Dollar Tree. But I would say those little fabric sheets, those little detergent sheets would be great for that, because you could just tear off what you need. You just want to wash your bathing suit or a top, a sheer top or dress or something, and hang it in your shower to dry. Then that would be a good option for that, or sending the kids off to college, I think. As long as it's not like your stinkiest stuff. Like, I wouldn't wash, gross sports like outfits in there, but for that, I think that worked really well. They also had borax, like bags of borax. It's not as big as the box you get, and I can't remember what borax cost, but we had it in the house for a long time. The kids were younger and making slime, because that was apparently an ingredient. But I think I used up the rest of their slime borax just by throwing it in with laundry on dirty loads. But they had that. So $1.25. I'm trying to see, how big was that size. 14 ounces for $1.25. I don't know if that's a good buy or not, but I thought that was neat, because I hadn't seen it there before. And the cleaning stuff seemed to be the same price. I didn't see any of that going up. They have the off-brand Cricut mats there, and I have used those. I use those in my Locklick die cutter. I hadn't used it in my Cricut one because I haven't had that one down since I got the Locklick one. They worked great, they worked fine, but you have to be careful what you use to clean the mats. If you wash them, you can very easily wash off the adhesive. But I did find they performed well and they worked fine in my machine, no issues there. And what is that? Oh, this is something, I took a photo of it because, and you might think this is silly. So they're dog bowls, right? Collapsible dog bowls, because I have a dog, and we actually already have a collapsible dog bowl, silicone dog bowl that we paid probably like $8 for, or probably maybe even more at Petco, but it's so that you can take it with you on walks as a little carabiner, and you can clip it to your belt loop, and then you can, if you're out walking, it's really hot, you can pour some water from your water bottle into the dog dish, and then the dog can theoretically have a drink. My dog will not drink out of the water bowl, so I have to walk her to the fountain over where like the water bottle fill up is, for over near the baseball field, and she will drink out of that. She doesn't lap the thing or anything, so it's not gross, but she'll drink there. She will not drink out of the bowl I bring for her. So not a great idea for me, but maybe you'll find it useful. But what I want to show you is see the 2-section dog bowls there? Maybe they're cat bowls, I'm not sure, but it's like 2 sections. They're not super useful for feeding your pets, because if you need to like freshen the water, then you can get water in the pet food. It's just not like, you can't dump one out without dumping out the other. But there's a art teacher on YouTube. Her name is Cassie Stevens, and she had the best idea. She gets those 2-portion bowls like that, and she will put a sponge in one side and she'll put water in the other side and give them to her students. She teaches like K through 8 or something. And so they wash their brush off in the water and then they wipe it on the sponge, and that's how she teaches them not to have too much water in their paint, like water control and whatnot. And I thought that was a really great idea. So if anybody, parents, grandparents, want to do art with their kids, want a less mess way to have water out for the kids so they don't spill, that's a really great option. Or maybe you're volunteering at the library, you're going to teach a kids class, or maybe you're an art teacher and you're watching this. I just wanted to pass that along, but also credit Cassie Stevens, because I thought that was such a great tip. And those were really cute. They had blue, red, green. I think they had pink and purple too, and it had like a glitter fleck in it, so it's they're kind of cute and kind of fun, and they caught my eye anyway. So I thought I would share that. And oh, the galvanized metal stuff, I didn't get a good picture of them, but they have like all these like tin, well, it's galvanized metal type decoration things in the craft section. Those are all for $1 too. So there was like pickup trucks, and there were hearts, and there were signs, all sorts of kind of like, I would guess you would call it farmhouse decor type things, and those were for $1. So if you're looking for a cheap craft project to do with a group, that would be a great place to go stock up and, you know, design something around those, because there's a lot of really generic shapes that you could do stuff with. You could make magnet boards, or, you know, whatever you want with that. But I thought that was a pretty good buy, and I wonder what they're going to put in there in place, because I saw they had more fabric. They had the fat quarters, but they also had felt, and they also had like fuzzy, like fur type, minky type fur, little fabric rolls. They of course had yarn. They've had yarn for a while. They also had some little bundles of fabric, like jelly roll fabrics. Yeah, they had a really interesting assortment, and I picked up a few things that I thought were unique. First thing I picked up, because they have all their back to school stuff is restocked, and it is like ample, at least in the Brewer Maine one, which is my favorite Dollar Tree. But I grabbed a couple of these because, for 2 reasons actually. I love to take my art supplies on the go, and I like to bring my art supplies out on the deck, out on the porch. And also, when I was reorganizing my husband's workshop for Valentine's Day, there was a tiny, I had a small little divided container, like a caddy with a handle, but it was like so old and brittle, and the plastic finally broke apart a couple months ago. And I thought something like this for like zip ties and carpenter's pencils and things like that. So I was thinking that, but I was also thinking like colored pencils, brushes, anything like that you want to kind of keep corralled, but you also want to be able to like take it with you. If say like I could put this in the art cart and put my watercolor pencils, my colored pencils, my paintbrushes, kind of get rid of all the random little jars I have, and then if I do want to take that out to the porch, I can lift the whole thing out and bring it out, or if I want to put it on the coffee table, I could do that rather than having to kind of dig into that middle shelf where I have them now. So caddies, I think caddies were always a great idea, and if I was still teaching kids, I would have grabbed more of these, because they were only $1.25. These hadn't gone up. And they also have the book bins, which, oh yeah, I got some of those. I got some of those a while back. I think they match, actually. Let me see. They're both the same color. They had a bunch of these. The colors they had, I guess these aren't a perfect match, but they're pretty darn close. Actually, Oh, you know what? They're very close. These are really sturdy. They lock together, and instead of using a binder for my swatches, my watercolor swatches and gouache swatches, I put them in these bins. I have a couple right next to each other, one for student grade, one for professional grade watercolor, and it's just really easy for me to flip through and get exactly what I want, not have to deal with a binder. So that's what I've been using these for. But they're also handy they're for books, so they're really sturdy, nice and thick plastic. But you could put like I mean, you can kind of hear, and it's got a flex to it. It's not that brittle material. You could put sketchbooks in here. You could divide up all sorts of things. Pamphlets, if you like to save the pamphlets from art materials you buy or ones you might pick up at a trade show or at an art store. Or patterns. You could store patterns in here. Printables, things you want to make. Because I know if I sometimes I'll bookmark a page, think, oh, what a cool project, I want to come back to that. Am I going to remember to come back to that? But if I had a bin with just like origami I want to try or whatever, these sort of things work well for me. It might not work well for you, but I figured if it helps me, it might help you too. Pass it along. But my tip would be, and the reason why I have a big stack of these is because they don't bring the same colors back each time. So if you see a color you like, just grab more than you think you're going to need. You will use them. I also use these in my office for printer paper and photo paper and transparencies, all the things that I use for my printer and my die cutter. I have them in these bins, all lined up, so it's really easy for me to get my but not loose paper. They're in the boxes of photo paper and the boxes of transparencies are all in those kind of in boxes of labels. They're all in that rigid packaging to begin with, so I just put them in these and they work. That works great. I can see everything I have, so I don't forget that I have it, and it's so easy to find a spot for those. So I like that. These I grabbed for two reasons. I wanted to test the quality, and also I thought they would be really cute decorations and they would be useful decorations because I could stash stuff in there. So these are the colors they have. They are silicone crayons. How cute. I thought they would be some cheesy, when I saw them I thought, oh, they're probably just that cheesy kind of fabric-y material, but no, they're actually silicone. And these are the 4 colors that they had. I know I just made a bunch of pouches, but those are gifts. I've made those for gifts. These, I thought these would just be really cute. I think they would hold quite a bit too. I bet they would hold 72 pencils. You could put a thing of colored pencils in there, and they're pretty thick. I mean, if you buy silicone pencil pouches, they're usually around $10. Of course, they probably would be a specific character or something, but I thought this was a good deal, and I thought they were just so eye-catching and cute, and they're that matte silicone material, so in the background, they would just photograph really well, so I thought they would be really cute for both storage and also just for decoration and storage. And $1.25, I thought that was a great deal, but actually for pencil pouches, they're nice and sturdy. I also think that them being so soft like this would prevent the pencils from banging around like they would in a hard, a metal or a hard plastic box and things getting broken. I don't think your pencils would, especially if you had the tips towards the top, I don't think they would slam around in there. So if these are going in a backpack with your kids' stuff, I think they would actually be a better way to store things. So I grabbed those for $1.25 each. Oh, look at this. I didn't really need another water cup, but I grabbed this because I wanted to test the quality because I figured that people would be curious about it. This reminded me of the Faber-Castell Click and Go cups, and if you go to Amazon, you can see all kinds of different collapsible silicone cups. So this is it flat. And let's see how easy it is to open. These were $1.25, and they had a grayish blue, a pink, and this green color. I actually got this because of if you watched my easel video, oh, this is nice and thick too. I thought this would be oh, it's not flimsy either. So I got one of these because the watercolor easel that I have has a hole in it that you could drop a water cup in, and I saved the plastic water cup that came. So if I go to the movies, a lot of times I'm not that hungry, but I want something to snack on, so I will get the kids meal. You can buy the kids meal even if you're a grown up. So buy the kids meal, and it'll come with a soda, which is the perfect size for me because I can't drink one of those, one of the adult size sodas that you get if you buy a combo with popcorn. So I'll get the kids meal. It comes with a little cup of soda. And it's usually a nice thick plastic commemorative cup for whatever movie is popular at the time for kids. I think I have a Kung Fu Panda one or something. So I saved that, and that goes in the cup on my easel thing, and this will sit on top of the easel tray, and it's sturdy enough. The quality is nice. Okay, I'm gonna say go for it if you want to get that cup. This is rigid plastic up here where you would put your brush. You would rest your brush on that. I'll use a pen because my brush is out of reach. So you could rest your brush on there when you're not using it. There's also 3 little brush holders there on the side. They're pretty small, but I think they would work for most of our watercolor brushes. So, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's a good idea. I'm trying to see, just so it doesn't have a brand on it or anything. But, yeah, still a collapsible cup. But yeah, so you get that little cup of, you get a little bit of popcorn, you get a little candy, and you get a soda for like $6 or $8. And that's great. That's how you hack the system, guys. You're not really hungry, but you want a little snack at the movies. That's what you do. But anyway, there was only one hole for a cup on that easel, so I thought that would sit nice and stable, and then I could have 2 rinse cups if I was using that easel. So that's what I was thinking with that. I also got 2 of these. These are wonderful if you store art supplies, like in a closet, or if you have your studio in a basement. These work. These will suck the moisture out of the air. I have 2 in there right now. I should have brought them in there, but these beads attract the moisture, and then the water falls through, and then eventually this thing will be all the way to the top of the water, and then you can tear out the, it has a foil seal. You have to take the foil seal off to activate it. And then you can open it up, just like dump out the water, and you can discard the rest. Or, even better, you can go on Amazon, you can buy the refill pellets for these. So if you want to be a little bit more, I think it is still cheaper just to buy these if you're more budget conscious than earth conscious, but you can buy just the desiccant, just those like pellets. There's some sort of calcium, I think, and put those in there and just reuse them, which is nice. But they're cheaper at Dollar Tree for $1.25 than they are on Amazon, even if you buy a big bulk pack of those. And they're great because in the basement, I just keep them over by my paper until I'm up in the addition. Actually, I even put one in my closet upstairs because that's where I have my expensive watercolor paper, just to make sure there's no errant humidity there. And I needed some file folders, not exciting, but I needed some file folders, so I didn't want to buy a big bulk pack online, so I just grabbed that because I don't go through that many folders, but I had to combine a few things because I didn't have folders. Oh, this is what I went there for. This is that fountain pen with black ink. I thought it would be fun to try it out, see if it's any good. And sometimes it's fun just to sketch with a fountain pen with black ink because you never really know what the black ink is made out of. I'm sure this is water soluble because generally fountain pen ink is, because it can clog up the works unless it's a special ink, but usually you have to buy that ink in a bottle and load it up yourself. I mean, you can buy cartridges, but I'm also curious as if these cartridges are standard. You can refill the little cartridges anyway, just with like a blunt tip syringe. You might even be able to pop the back off of those cartridges because they look like they have little stoppers there. But I thought that would be fun just to test the quality of the pen for $1.25. I'm willing to take a gamble. And I did see somebody use one of these online and they said it was fine. So, but I bought packs of fountain pens with colored ink in it on Amazon, the Snow White brand, and they're great, and they were cheaper than this, but I thought this is accessible. People can go into the store and grab this. You don't have to have a credit card. You don't have to, pay shipping. You don't have to buy a certain amount to avoid shipping. You can go in for $1.25 and have a fun new toy to sketch with, and if it makes you sketch, then I think that's a good thing. So, I know people might be like, why are you shopping at the Dollar Tree? It's all a bunch of junk. It's, it's the only option for a lot of people. And I want to be able to share things that people can enjoy. That, okay, maybe you're going to order the big pack of fountain pens. Maybe you're going to order, maybe you have a $200 fountain pen that you take pristine care of and you buy the inks and all of that. And that's what you invest in. That's fine. That's great. I don't trust myself with a $200 fountain pen. I want to have fun with some pens I don't have to worry about. If somebody's curious about fountain pens, if I could just say, hey, just take this one and see what you think, I just want to, make sure people can see what sort of options that they can have. And 2 other things. I was curious about, I don't have really high hopes for this, but 8 glue sticks for $1. They also have packs of 4 of the exact same glue sticks for $1. And this is like formerly 4 glue sticks. It's 8, I think, because it's back to school. It's like a back to school special thing. But I did need a bunch of glue sticks for a class, so I wanted to try these out and see how they are, how they hold. It doesn't say they're washable, so I'm hoping they're a permanent glue stick. I don't know. But I'm gonna give it a try and see what I think. And I'm only out $1.25. If I don't like them for my own work, if they are like just more like a washable kids glue stick, which they quite very well may be, I'll donate them to the library because they do an arts and crafts program with their story time, so I know they'll use these. So if I can't get use out of them, and if they do work well, because I do need more than 8 for my class, I'll just go and buy some more at that point. I didn't want to buy more than I needed, much more than I needed. unless I knew that they were good. But yeah, they'll definitely get used either way, either by me or by the library thing. And this was a complete lark. I used to have one of these when I was a teenager, and I loved it. It's a pen, and I actually have the Bic one that's got 4 colors in it, but this is a pen with 10 colors. And I'm just really curious about it. I hope it's not junk, but it's just it's a little ballpoint pen. So, oh boy, is it gonna? Okay. Ah, it writes. It writes. This is really light. It's probably not like a. Let's see. How do you change a color? I don't know. I'll investigate this later, but it's super light. I think this is lighter than the one I had when I was in high school. Like just weight wise, I'm sure there's not a lot of ink in it, but yeah, I lost all good sense of my faculties, and I bought a hairbrush. And actually, you know, I gotta say, I got a pack of gum, cinnamon Trident. That should go in my car. But I love these cushion hairbrushes, and you know, they always disappear from the bathroom downstairs, and I think it's because these are actually really nice brushes. They're $1.25. They're just called Cushion Brush, and they are so comfortable that little balls don't break off the end, and they don't pull my hair, because I have like very sensitive follicles. I can't just brush my hair with anything. I need a cushioned brush, and these are great, and they work great. They work great. And I think someone keeps stealing ones from my downstairs bathroom, because that's where they go missing. I have one upstairs, but I think the girl. And I put one in everybody's stocking this year because I like these brushes so much. So probably if I spent $10 on a brush, I would like probably put one of those bank chains to the vanity in the bathroom so you couldn't walk out of the bathroom with it. Instead, I just buy a couple new brushes every year. And yeah, I'm not the best. I'm not the best person. But yeah, these delight me. These just delight me. They're delightful. I don't know. So yeah, I guess I don't know why. Well, yeah, I do know why I need some retail therapy, but I'm not going to go into that. But on positive news, actually, this is so weird. So randomly, my parents stopped by last Saturday. They never stopped by. They stopped by, and they must have been I don't know, they said they were there for like 10 minutes, I don't think so. They were like back into the driveway, and my husband sees them and was like, hey, I'll go get Lindsay. I was out back on the deck painting, and so we're chit-chatting. Nope, we gotta go. And I'm like, you just got here. Well, we gotta go. And they didn't they closed their store for the holiday weekend, and I think they were probably climbing the walls. So I said, well, I was gonna come down and visit tomorrow. Should I still? And Dad's like, yeah, come down tomorrow. So I went down and visited, and he was doing really well cognitively. He didn't repeat himself at all, and maybe because he said extra rest because he hasn't been working all weekend. He had the 4th of July weekend off. And he was all refreshed, but yeah, he seemed very, not that he's ever not seemed with it, but sometimes he'll like repeat himself quite a bit. And he had quite a few health struggles this winter, so it was nice to see him very sharp like that. Not that he's not sharp typically, but to like not ask the same question twice or anything like that. So that was good news. I do have another family member that's in the hospital right now that I'm a little bit worried for, but I don't want to go into that in such chat. We keep it happy, keep it light. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out the birthday sale through tomorrow if you were looking to get a new class and save 49%. Everything I've talked about is in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, happy crafting.